Okay, so this is the second part, or whatever, to my video. So they have been talks on this Georgia Not for Politics as usual. The new inauguration date of 3/4/2021. Wow. And it says, no, our president did not concede. Italy and Obama were involved in the coup to overthrow our government via election official fraud. Trump was the last president to serve in the America Corporation. He dismantled the Banking Act of 1871 from England. We're going back to a republic. Trump will be the first president of the new republic with the Constitution fully intact. March 4th was the original start date of a new president from 1776 until 1933, when it was changed under the FDR. Okay, now, wouldn't be surprised if we were without a president for a short time. And there's been a lot of news sources also been talking about that, which would actually make perfect sense. Okay, because that would be in time for the Antichrist to bring order out of chaos, because we can see martial law anytime, the Insurrection Act, okay? And when they had Trump in hiding and whatever, we seen how they were going door to door to door, getting people with this vaccine and stuff, and they've been rounding people up to take them to camps and things like that, and we can see that happening. And I just got off the phone with a friend of mine, John, and he's from the military too, and we've been talking about getting prepped and prepared, and he said, watch out for tomorrow. And if you look at tomorrow's 1/11, and 11 or 21, you add that's 222. Okay. So anyways, I know that something major is going to happen tomorrow. All right. So here's some other information that I'd like to bring up. And we've seen that we have the power outages over in Pakistan. The Vatican lost power, and over in Quebec, actually, let me find this because I want to read it to you. Because you guys remember my last video about fire over America, and how all that, that I was bringing people to safety to Quebec and Turkey. Okay, this was sent to me last night. Thank you, Melissa, and all the people who's been giving me lots and lots of confirmation. Hi, brothers and sisters. Please pray for all of us. This is what is happening right now in Canada. Martial law. The province of Quebec, Canada, is now under police rule. Every night from 8 to 5 a.m., no one is allowed onto the streets. Police cars are driving through neighborhoods, sirens blaring, scanning for descendants to arrest. $6,000 fines, enough to destroy families. My daughter and her husband lives on the Quebec side, 3.5 kilometers from where I live in Ottawa, Ontario. Okay, you guys, this is very serious. What's happening, because we see with the power outages and stuff, which I believe is from an inside job. What it is, it's depending on how it is, an EMP. I don't see it as an EMP. I think that this is just going to be for our power grid, and this is what it's been talking about, the 100 days. Okay, 100 dark days. Sorry, lost my train of thought. They're already stating also over on the Jerusalem Post that if teachers are not vaccinated by January 12th, the classes will stop. And that's in 2 days. Okay. All right. So, and then I've had many dreams, which I've brought my journals out, which I should probably do this at my next video. Okay, America has fallen. America has fallen. Woe to Babylon. Now, we also have attention all QAnons. It's happening. It's happening. Military takedowns and arrests began this weekend and will continue for the next 11 days and nights. Some internal raids have already started. Italy has been found complicit in our election fraud. Everyone will be getting emergency SOS alerts on their phones, TV, radios, and the internet. It will override all other broadcasts and could last for several hours at a time. Do not be scared of what's coming, as it is for the safety of our nation for this to unfold. Do not travel to any large cities for the rest of the month, especially Philadelphia. Military operations will be taking place in many of the major corrupt cities. Okay, and now right here, I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to finish reading because I'm going to add a video from my friend Melissa Angel. She lives in North Carolina, and this is pretty great because it's about the military. Okay, today is January the 10th. Okay, I want to read you something that was out over a year ago, and I'm going to explain something to you. Okay, it says, false prophet Pope Francis gives Emmanuel Macron his blessings and anoints him to take the global stage as leader of the new world. This came out on April 23rd, 2020. Okay? Now, I'm going to read you some of this, and I know it's old news, but it pertains to now. Okay, false prophet Pope Francis gives Emmanuel Macron his blessings and anoints him to take the global stage as leader of the new world. We have the false prophet Pope Francis operating with under a name stolen from God, giving his sulfuric blessings to the Antichrist wannabe Emmanuel Macron, whose name literally means God with us. Macron wants to seize power of the new world, and both the UN Security Council and the Pontifex Maximus of Rome have signed off on it. Okay, every one of these end times villains are looking for the world like they're in training for the Revelation 13 Olympic. 18 months, people, 18 months. Okay, I'm just going to read down to here real quick, and then I'll explain this. Emmanuel Macron, preparing to assume power as the global leader in the international COVID-19 pandemic, received the fervent support of Pope Francis during a telephone exchange today in Paris. Just yesterday, we brought you the story of how French President Emmanuel Macron has shored up an alliance with the UN Security Council to take the reins of power in the burgeoning New World Order. No small feat that. That was the first shoe. Today, the second shoe drops as it's revealed that Emmanuel Macron had phone meeting with Pope Francis, where he received his blessings and full support to reset the global economy. Behold, a virgin shall be with child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is God with us. Matthew 1:23. Okay, 1:23. Now we told you about the curious nature that the devil Judas Iscariot, the son of perdition, and the man who will yet take the stage as the Antichrist. Okay, and in a recent Bible study, we showed you how Satan wants what God has, which is why we see in Luke the Antichrist coming against Jerusalem, the city of God. We also showed you how Judas hung himself, not in despair, but in sheer mockery and contempt of what Jesus would do on the cross 12 hours later, knowing that wouldn't it be just like Satan to have his Antichrist named Emmanuel, meaning God with us, as yet another shot at the today will make so much more sense to you after reading this article on Judas. Okay, all right. All right, I'm not even going. Okay, so like I said, there's 18 months, 18 months, right? Now, 18 months has been a big talk about that's how long it's going to take into a new world, complete new world order transition. Talking about the collapse of the economy, the war, the Antichrist coming, and the beast, where the mark of the beast, the chip comes out, where money has no value or anything. Okay. We had on September 26th, 2019, they brought back the Noahide laws, which was the Torah, and we know that that is what the Antichrist does. Okay, so from the bringing forth of the sacrifice, in the middle of that is when the abomination that makes desolate, and then there's 42 months, okay, for the rule of the Antichrist. Okay, the Antichrist is here, the system is here, and we are watching the rising of him. Now, from that date, okay, from the 42 months from that, you would get July 10th of 2024. And we know in 24 what happens is the eclipse going over America. Now, you take half of that, okay, half of his rule, because remember, in the midst of it, what happens is he causes the sacrifice to cease. So half of that would bring you to March 28th, hold on. Yeah, around March 28th of this year. Now, that on March 28th is Passover. Now, what they did last year is they did not do the sacrifice on Passover. Remember, due to COVID, they weren't able to, so they canceled it not once but twice. And then they said they're going to try and reenact it this year. Well, they're already talking about the temple being built, okay? And so in the midst of this, like, is when the abomination that makes desolate, okay? So I believe that what's going to happen, he is going to rise around the Passover timing. And Passover is around the 27th, 28th through the 4th of April. Now, I know many of you have heard me talk about Gil Brazard and the other studies about Planet X and stuff, okay? Well, if you look at its orbital pattern, okay? Remember in Revelation 12 sign, it says that there you're going to see a fiery great red dragon, and then it has 7 heads and 10 horns, and then its tail casts a third of the stars down with it, right? Well, we just witnessed the rising of the Antichrist, although he hasn't gained his power yet. His 42 months has not begun. Now listen, so right here it's saying, like I've even said, it is going to be completely visible. Keep going through, because it's already passed through the whole tail into the dragon. It's going to be visible February of 2021, and it's going to leave March 28th of 2021. So, my whole point is, around this timing, like I said, with wormwood, it would make perfect sense for the Antichrist to completely rise. Now, with the New World Order and all this, because they are trying their hardest to push. And we know that this vaccine, the second dose, Moderna, has luciferase in it, which has, therefore hydrogel, which once you get it, it sticks. It's permanently embedded in you. Okay, so the next video that I'm going to state is going to put all this together and so on and so forth.